Hi, Brian here, welcome back to the Angels. Yeah, here, this is amazing. One of our fellow YouTubers and a subscriber to the channel has kindly sent me a box of goodies all the way from Canada. Dave Scott at Scott Rails has kindly enough donated some stuff to the channel, and I'm very much appreciative, and I can see right away we have the Maple Leaf Canadian flag on top, which is a really good shout. And thanks very much, Dave, for going to all the expense and bother of doing this. It's much appreciated, buddy. And I actually know right away exactly what I want to do with this little flag here, because I feel that underneath the layout, where we can see all the gubbins of the layout, that this would do well to pin in front of it. So yeah, thanks very much, Dave. Canadian flag, much appreciated. I'll show you in place once I pin it on the layout. Nice one. And what else do we have here? A little note. I've sent some Canadian and American toys for your layout. There's also a bag of tiny humans. They are partially cured. I left them this way as it's easier to remove the supports when the resin is still kind of soft. Once you've separated them, just put them in a plate and leave them under direct sunlight for 10 minutes. Use a pair of small snips or some tweezers. Take your time, limbs are fragile, lol. Good luck with your build, Dave. Very kind, thank you, Dave. So look at this. Nice little Canadian maple leaf keychain. Canada on it. This is cool. I have another moose and a beaver. Very Canadian. That's really cool, thanks very much. It's a magnet I can put on my fridge. Oh, and what's this? Yes, a Canadian National truck. Perfect. I can do some weathering on that. Ideal. Hopefully you can see that okay. Excellent. More vehicles for the layout. And here we have a bag of something here. Let's see what we have. Ah, tiny people indeed. They're excellent, Dave. They're superb. Print on them is amazing. Hopefully you can see these little people okay. Detail's amazing. There's a whole load in here. There's like, wow, dozens of tiny people. So very good, very happy. I can feel that it's still soft. Direct sunlight, that's funny, Dave. It's Scotland. It's been grey and raining for the past 3 days. But yeah, we will get that exposed. What's this? Feels quite solid. Just want to check this is all in shot as well. Oh wow. Very generous, buddy. Thank you kindly. A Walthers as well. That's just the hornhook coupling. I'll put KDs on that. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. That's got some weight on it. A Walthers locomotive. Nice one, Dave. Thanks very much. I'm standing up to make sure it's in shot on the camera. That's amazing. Canadian Pacific Rail. Ideal. Thank you very much. That is awesome. Let's carefully set that down. Have another one here. Oh, you're kidding me on, Dave. That is super generous, mate, honestly. Wow, a Norfolk Southern. Wow, cool. Now, if anybody knows the name of these locos, I will endeavour to find out very quickly. But that's amazing. Wow, they're really cool. They get some weight to them as well. I will get them on the layout, give them a little test run. Super cool. Dave Scott, you're an absolute star. Thank you very much. I'm very, very humbled by the package that you kindly sent all the way from Canada at your own expense. Very, very kind. Much appreciated. Go Canada. As a Canadian living in Scotsman to a Scotsman living in Canada, very, very kind. Thank you very much. All items will be used in one shape or form on the Angels Ridge layout, that's for sure. Thank you. Good man. Everybody go and check Dave out at ScotRails. I'll put a link in the description. I'm sure most of you will be members already, but if not, check out his basement layout that he's putting together. He's putting a lot of effort into it, and he does some great tutorials on things that he just sees for the first time and tackles them, puts them together, static grass applicators and stuff. So yeah, check Dave out, great channel, and he's an honest to God, genuine, really kind human being. It's not clattering together, but yeah, that's very, very kind. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, that's a nice smooth runner. A great locomotive. Only issue is with such tight radius on my layout, the bogies only turn so much and then start to kind of derail it. So I'm going to actually investigate on how to maybe customise the bogies so they'll swing a little bit further. But it's unfortunate, it just seems that because I've went with extra tight grades on it, you'll see here, that's it starting to kind of derail. It stopped with the power on. So what's happening is that I set this on its side, that the bogies when they turn only turn so far. So I'm going to get the body off, have a little look and see if I can make these turn just a little bit more. It's just a couple of millimetres. If they could just turn that little bit more, then we might be laughing. But I don't want to do anything to damage it. At the end of the day, it's got to be an easy fix, because these locomotives will see use. If not on this layout because of the tight radius, it'll certainly be on the next layout, because this is just the practice layout, Angels Ridge, for the layout that I eventually want to build. So all techniques, including the rock work for the tunnel portal, the roads, the grass, the scenery, the weathering, everything's just all practice for when I get a chance to build the legacy layout, which Boomer at Boomer Dioramas calls. And that's the layout that's going to get that sort of attention. This layout's going to be a practice of the techniques, and certainly one of them will be seeing what rolling stock and locomotives can get round here in any way, or customise them and make them fit. Thanks again, Dave. Really appreciate it, and I will get these running one way or t'other. And this is a Norfolk Southern. Which I'll figure out. It's like a SD or a GP. But runs fine. Working lights, everything superb on both of them. But yeah, difficulty going round the corners. So I will investigate on how to make these bogies travel maybe a couple of millimetres more. So I put a shout out on Facebook, and one of the gentlemen got back to me on there about exactly what models and numbers these were, and Ted informed me that we have a Walthers GP9M, M meaning modified, and it's got a shorter nose on it apparently. So yeah, GP9M, and the Norfolk Southern is an Athearn model, and it's a GP50 with some extra detail added, said. So yeah, excellent stuff.
we now know exactly the models we have in front of us. So here we are at the workbench having a look at the Norfolk Southern that was kindly donated by Dave at ScotRails. Very kind gifts he sent me. I'm well over the moon with them. The only issue is my layout has really tight curves just under the 15-inch radius recommended for locomotives, so receiving this loco made me over the moon, but I'm just quite sad that I can't run it round my layout currently as it stands. But I would build a switching layout, a small, maybe yay size by yay size with industries on it, that this could basically run on and off and do some freight work on it. Now the issues are the tightness of the curves. I was hoping to be able to do some sort of alterations to the chassis to allow the truck to travel further to the left and to the right, but we can see here that when the truck turns so far that the angles are very acute, and when it turns that way it's the same. Now there's no way for me to alter this chassis because the chassis is steel. So the steel chassis basically eliminates any possibilities of me making these trucks turn in a tighter radius. But as I said, you will see this running in one of my layouts at some point. It's a very kind gift. Double flywheels, you can just tell the quality of these locomotives. Nice big engine in it as well. I love how the electrics are set up on it from the pickups here. You've got this kind of metal strip that comes out, and that strip then passes across to connect to the motor, which will power it from that truck and that truck. And here we can see how the metal moves through here and joins that front truck connector, and how this one's connected to it as well. I love looking inside these. I think the way they come up with the engineering principles is genius, and it's a really strong loco, so we will see it in future, but I don't think it'll be running on Angels Ridge anytime soon because I can't alter the steel chassis to allow the trucks to travel further to the left and to the right. So this shorter Canadian Pacific Rail System GP has exactly the same issue as the Norfolk Southern. The issue is that they're quality builds, and they've got all metal chassis which are solid, and that's what I really love about this HO scale that I've been enjoying. You do get it in double loaders. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm just finding that a lot of the HO scale models are really superb. Even the older ones, these large flywheels that are on them, they get big massive flywheels for the momentum, and as far as I'm aware, it's a really good thing to have on a locomotive. But yeah, this one's got the metal chassis, and here we can see that the bogies just won't turn as tight as I would like them, because of the fact that my radius is that tight that when we look, these bogies touch against the metal frame, and again that's an acute angle, so when the touch is on there, there's no way of me expanding the radius. So yeah, these two will be going on a switching layout. We know from the Angel Share that I can build a functioning, working, nice looking layout that's purely for switching. So that's what these two bad boys will end up going on to. Great quality locos, very happy with them. And also Dave has saved me a lot of money, because I do have locos like this in my wish lists in various places. I never pulled the trigger on it because I was worried that they might not go round the tight radius I have on my layout, and thus I would be wasting money by buying them, and it would take away from the build. So Dave has saved me money, and he's also cost me money, because I'm going to have to build a switching layout in future, which I probably would have done anyway, and these two locos will be the stars of the show in one way, shape or form. So yeah, thanks again Dave, excellent locos. They're going to have to be purely decorative just now until I get a little switching layout in the future.